Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I am Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. This week on the flow, Shadow Fox has COVID, but she is here. Hello, Shadow Fox. How you doing?
I'm doing better. So I'm sorry if I kind of sound a little congested and everything, but yeah, it's I'm just grateful that I'm having like this an immune upgrade. Mm. So please forgive me, everybody. I mean, like I may have to like mute the mic and like shut the video off very temporarily. If I have a hacking fit or something like that. But yeah, no, it's good to be here. Thank you, everyone, for joining and coming in today. Oh, uh, Paul, I'm telling you, it's like
Uh,
exhausted, and it's just the fluid intakes. Just keeping up. And I mean, it was like 4 or 5 days no food. It was like talk about instant fast.
yeah. Well, hopefully you start feeling better here within the next couple days. It starts to pass. I wanted to thank you for my birthday / Christmas gift and all that. The jellies and the cashew butter, really appreciate it. And my Palo Santo, thank
Ah,
you, thank you, thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Wonderful, wonderful gift. All right, we have a special guest today, John Strayer, I believe it is. Did I say that right? Strayer? All right, and let's welcome him. Humankind, how you doing?
Hi, John. How are
Hey, doing
you?
great. Hello.
Oh,
Thanks for having me.
oh, oh,
Uh,
he's lagging a little bit.
yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, John. Just to let people know, John is driving right now. He had to pick up some lumber for his church, so hopefully, the audio and video stay with us. If he comes and goes, just know that he's driving. So, John, could you tell us a little bit about you? Where are you from? What you do?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised out in Arizona, and I'm a web developer by trade, project manager. I've been in the industry about 20 years, and about like 6 years or so, I've I started the awakening process, if you know what I'm talking about. So coming through and starting to figure out and getting the awareness of are a lot bigger than what we think we are. And so now I am still doing some web projects and stuff like that, but I'm working on a project called Humankind that that is more or less in the end result we want to build these community centers, and in doing that I've been doing research and doing some stuff out here in Sedona, Arizona, and I've been doing events, and I've just been taking a lot of knowledge and taking a lot of time to experience the growth. I believe next year is going to be a big year for rebuilding and building a lot of stuff that what us as humans want.
Oh, awesome. Uh, so
Like, there's a lot of information.
yeah, no, you're just kind of breaking up a little bit. But so John, you do some events out there?
Yeah, so I do events. So I've been doing events out here for the last 8 months. I've the last event I just did. It's called Kids Light Education. So I've been. We have this whole program where we educate the kids about breath work, the chakra system, which is energy, manifesting, meditation, and then we have like it's a mini concert as well.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, Shadow Fox looks like she's going to cough and all. The last part, the mini concert. What kind of concerts?
So the concert is so the one we just did was it's a concert with musicians and also like a sound bath for the meditation portion. So we have this guy, a guy named Demir, who actually performs. If you look him up, he's amazing. He has an album called Human that he's been releasing for the last 6 months, and he's on Spotify if you want to check him out.
Okay, and could you say his name again and the name of the album again?
It's Demir, and the album name is Human. It's DAMIYR.
Okay. All
And
right.
he
So
was on AGT at one time as well.
okay. Okay. Well, definitely check him out. So tell me a little bit more about the meditations.
So, well, with the educational part, basically what we're doing, we're just training them on, what meditation is and how it can help you out and in manifesting and connecting to your higher consciousness, and being more aware of, trying to be more aware of what's going on and how we connect with our higher self.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Now, you were talking about how the world is changing and people are basically unaware of a lot of these changes. Everybody's so wrapped up in the tribalism of politics and stuff like that. And, we're coming into a cyber revolution, industrial revolution. There's a lot of things that are just going on in the world. So when you talk about that things are changing and people aren't seeing it, what can you give me kind of an idea of what you're talking about that the people aren't seeing?
Well, I mean, it's happening no matter what, even though they don't see it. So all energy, and the earth is energy, and the earth feeds off our energy. So as this is changing, we're still of this process of change. It's a lot of people don't know, but you're all else. It's a diversion from what is really going on. And until people actually start figuring out to start looking inside and start feeling and start connecting with themselves, then the things around them will be able to start making a little bit more sense, and they'll be able to know what is real and what isn't real.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
the one thing I just must have to say that what I find fascinating is that you're actually offering this with children in mind, getting them started from, an early age. It just creates, good, like let's just say business practice, right? And I think that it, like they should have many more of this and they should actually put it in the schools. I mean, it's not
Oh yeah.
necessarily meditating, it's not prayer, but it could be, even when you're looking at helping children get through difficult situations in their lives, recognizing that in this present moment, like right here right now, you're okay. Breathing techniques can help to calm that energy system down, the emotional components. So, oh my goodness, John, I just think this is some great stuff that you're offering in the whole idea, the whole spectrum of wellness. And before we actually started the show, we were backstage and we were kind of talking a little bit, and everybody has our diverse passions, but yet we're all geared in that same direction, in the forward motion, and how we can all make these connections and come together, and bring our unique abilities and start really building something, because there's definitely a broken system out there, right? And it comes down even within our bodies if we're getting sick. Like for me, for instance, I mean, Paul, can you put that
Yeah.
little thing up? And if there's somebody that's driving or whatever, Paul, could you read that?
Yeah.
Because
I'll read it. Flu is not a season. It is an inability to adapt due to decreased sun exposure and water intake, combined with increased stress and sugar intake. And coincidentally, is seen most through October, Halloween sugar, November, Thanksgiving sugar, December, Christmas sugar, February, Valentine sugar, to March and April, Easter sugar. So what you're looking at is a higher sugar intake, which again, if you take in more sugar, that's going to um, suppress your immune system. And if you're not taking in the vitamins and nutrients you need on a constant basis, it's going to be a depletion to make you more susceptible to things.
Right. And so like a friend of mine sent that to me, Sage did. And so I don't really know where the reference, like where that came from, to give credit to whoever wrote it or put it up. But there's a lot of truth to that. And it comes down when something is broken, when we're not paying attention, when we have an unguarded moment. Okay. It's like, okay, well, I didn't drink enough water today, or, stress is building up. And like all this plays key factors and key roles, just like what John was doing in bringing, holding an event where parents could bring their children to help children come in so that we can stay like kind of regulated, maybe. I don't know if that's the correct word, but when something is broken, whether it's our government or any of those capacities, you can't just continue to build on a foundation that's broken. And so in my case, it's an unguarded moment. I had a little, things over here, do this, do that. And my intake of water was really decreased. We lost John. John will be back. So Paul, I just think that as we all come together and start sharing what we are building, what our plans are, or how we can be of service to others, and to ourselves. And I think it comes down, we got COVID, both my husband at the same time. So it's like, COVID's COVID, whatever. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity that I'm getting an immune system boost here. But it does play a major part in recognizing we do have the capacity to heal governments, we can heal businesses, we can heal ourselves, or we can start from scratch and build and create that foundation. So it's all part of wellness, right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
You're back.
You're back, John.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm going to show you guys. So I'm in Sedona, and this is what it looks like right now.
Ooh.
Oh,
so it's a little bit feathery and all that kind of stuff.
How warm is it there?
I think it's in the 50s.
Oh, really? Look, see my cup? Let it snow.
See, I'm over here by Parker, Arizona. So I'm just about 3 hours from you. You're over in Sedona, and I might be incorrect on that distance. I don't know for sure, but I know Sedona's not that far, and I might be thinking of Scottsdale. I don't know. Anyways, we're 62 over here, so it's gorgeous. And I even did a TikTok this morning of the sunrise. It was just so gorgeous. I just had to do it.
It was foggy this morning. I never seen.
So go ahead, John, if there's anything, just pipe on in.
Well, some of the things I really appreciate shows like this. I really do. I think we're going to end up seeing a lot more people starting to reach out and trying to educate people, the people who are ready. We go through this thing and being like, why don't people see what I see? And it's just not their time yet. And when they do see it, we just got to be there to support them. And that's a lot of what I really want to build. It's just a support center to where when these people are ready or they start to figure out what is going on, they're not in this like, where do I go to figure this stuff out? Because that's sort of what I felt. I felt, why isn't this information already available at our fingertips? Why haven't we been told this? And while we were growing up, that we have these abilities to heal ourselves, like you were talking about, and being able to communicate with ourselves in multiple different ways, and communicate with other beings that are not human. Well, they're essentially a part of us, but they are in another dimension. And
Yes.
it's possible. It's just we were told in these movies that they're all like sci-fi, it's all fake stuff. But in one essence, it's all real, and we do have these abilities to create this different life.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you've mentioned on, quite a few key ingredients, because it's not just like you were expressing, like, where can we get this information? Like, how can I access this? And you know what? There are, people, like myself, Paul, and even you, we can come together because there's stuff we have to offer. There's people that even around the show, I mean, like, listening, that have great vast knowledge, whether it be with use of essential oils or massage or breathing techniques, or just utilizing herbs that grow in your yard, that to bring these people together to share what we know. Now, here's the paradigm. Okay, this really is, because I've been at this for a long time, and everybody was out there looking, okay, how can I do this and make a buck with this and do this, and I can create content and everything else. But what I'm seeing, because I follow patterning, okay, is I just enjoy it. It's, if you can find that pattern, the solution appears. And what I've been noticing is that there's so many people that are just offering their expertise at this point in time. If you go on Twitter, for instance, there's people that they're offering all different kinds of stuff, like how to build your business. Okay, how do you make this better? How can you offer content? Or how can you do this in an effective way and then get money in, coming in? And I'm all good for making a buck. Don't get me wrong. But there are many people that are now stepping forward and saying, now is the time. Let's get the information out, because there's more coming. But we've got to have the foundation first for these people to step into the idea, like, there's so much more out there, right? It's not just, people are not just driving in droves to the church to find their answers. They're learning to find their answers within, right? And there's so many people coming together. Really, it's like, and this is why Paul and I are kind of doing this show, to be able to give a voice to those people that have something that can offer the community, and in one form or a fashion, so yeah.
Social media brings a lot to the table. I want you to think about this, okay? Just over the last decade, the increase in social media. Prior to that, the world was large and vast. Now I can go on Twitter Spaces. I can talk to people in India. I can talk to people in Pakistan. I can talk to people in South Africa, Nigeria, the UK, Scotland, Germany, everywhere in the world. I am connected to anyone, anywhere, at any time. All I have to do is open up a space.
Yep.
And when you really think about that, just here in the last decade, the conversations here on Twitter started Spaces just 2 years ago. And I have built up a community on Spaces. I talk with people in the political realm. I talk to people in the philosophical stoicism realm. I talk to people in the metaphysical realm and the spiritual realm. Just every avenue. I'm in a huge writing community. Okay.
Yep.
All these different realms, people are starting to come together.
Yep.
We're tired of mainstream media partisan bullshit.
Yep.
We're tired of mainstream media partisan politics. We're tired of the rhetoric that keeps coming out. And when you start looking at social media, yeah, you still have that, but you also have a lot of other things that are coming to be where people are coming together and getting more information and becoming more knowledgeable about things in the world. And granted, there's a lot of mis and disinformation out there, but there's also a lot of real stuff. And if people start to explore and experience this, they're going to find their people, people
Yeah.
that they want to, talk with, be with, communicate with, just like we are here right now. And this is what In the Moment is all about. I want to bring people on here and share thoughts and ideas. And it's not about one thing. When I first started this, it used to be called the Red Herring Effect, and I was strictly about politics. Okay, I named it after my book, The Red Herring Effect, and did strictly politics. That wasn't the route to go. That wasn't the route to go. Now I've broadened the horizon up, and I'm bringing people in because originally it was for me and about me. Now it's about everyone else.
It
And I'm
is.
not dime off of this. This isn't about the money. This is about sharing information.
And and this is where I think that with John, with the Humankind Center, I believe that this is teachers will be drawn and say, hey, listen, I have something, let me connect with you. And then John can actually create an event where qualified individuals can connect, and therefore we can broaden our scope all the way around. Because I know John and I, we've been planning. John and I have known each other for well over a year now,
Yep.
and I had stepped into Twitter to start, building a little bit, getting to know people, letting people get to know me, and he's been in Sedona and he's been building on his aspect. But eventually, we're going to be coming together, and I'll be down in Sedona, and we'll be, we'll be able to offer some events, maybe like a retreat or something. Hint, hint, hint. Right? No. Yeah. But the thing is so if there are individuals who are listening, reach out to John, Humankind Center, because this is this is from the groundwork up. We're looking at, as we're creating this wellness aspect, to get the platform in many different capacities off right, but to be able to bring those people with knowledge, experience to the individuals who are seeking. It's making those connections. And it's like, Paul, you're doing this like right here now on, video like this on YouTube. And I'm just grateful to be a part of it. And this is what the flow is about. How do we step in the flow? How do we recognize where harmony or disharmony is in our lives? And I just have to put a little shout out here because my best friend, she's right now creating a whole bunch of things I won't mention online, but she's got her hands busy, and every single day she's been sending out this beautiful energy. She happened to be on our show a while back, Sarah Nelson, and Cato's listening, and so Auntie Sarah is definitely listening. But I can't read what Cato was saying. I can't read it, John. Paul.
I'll read it. It's amazing how we are all able to share, learn knowledge, experience, and wisdom about healing with others around the world. It's truly a special time. Yes, it is.
And it truly is, because it's like my girlfriend, every single day, she would call in and check because she knew I was sick, or not ill, not well. Okay. And so every single day, and she just has been sending energy this entire time. And so I have to give a shout out to her because I made the show. I'm here, and this is what I mean. This is how we work as community, right?
Exactly. And just so everyone knows, that was John's website that I put up so everybody could see. And I just put the link up again, humankind.center. Make sure that you definitely check it out.
Can you
It's
do it again?
What's that?
Can you put it up there again?
Yeah, I can put it up there again. It's a very informative site. You can go to many of the tabs, projects that they're doing, connectability. They even have some merchandise that you can check out.
Yeah, so I created those. So it's like, all about the upgrade. We got the alien there, and then the lotus flower. And then the last shirt that's right there is the I am presence, the I am, so that means I get a lot of comments. The most shirt I get the two most shirts is the upgrade and the I am shirt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then there's a couple other tabs and all that allow you to connect and tells you about the events that you can go to, which brings up another page. So again, definitely check it out.
That's really awesome. So if there was somebody that was looking forward to stepping forward and maybe holding an event with you, could they reach you through that site?
Oh yeah, you can reach me through the site. You can reach me on all the socials. There's a Facebook Messenger on that website. So if you hit me up on that, it comes straight to my phone. If you come to Sedona, please reach out and see what events I have available. I'm also really connected with the community here, so I know pretty much all the events that are going on and all the conscious events. If you know something, and then I do the Global Center for Christ Consciousness. I actually manage all the lighting and sound there. So I'm also hosting events there as well. We just had like a sound bath by this guy Jay on Sunday, which was amazing. I mean, like the energy from his bulls, like he starts from the root and goes all the way up to the crown. So there's a lot of really, really good events to help you connect and feel your body there in this transition.
Wow. That
I just Googled it. We're 4 hours apart, and it looks like Phoenix is like an in-between for both of us and all that. So maybe one of these times and all that, we'll have to drive out to Phoenix and meet each other.
Yeah, come on down. I mean, I don't have a place for anybody to stay because I've been living in my van for the last year, and that's by choice. I wanted to experience this without having to feel like I had to like work or do a job. It gives me a little bit more freedom on where I could be and how I experience this.
That's awesome. I mean, didn't you like kind of like sell your business and sell stuff and then just develop into your van, and then you were able to be a little more mobile? I will say I've met probably about 10 or 12 different people that have completely downsized on everything and just said, instead of doing the 3 acres, white picket fence, and a little mailbox out there, and a whole bunch of junk that in their home that is collecting dust somewhere, right?
Right.
And they're just they're liking the feeling of being a little more mobile. And I think maybe it's just a shift in the dichotomy of like people are looking for that that freedom, I think. And like when I met you, John, I was like, man, you did.
People are stepping away from the materialistic value of the world, and are trying to get more in touch with themselves. I mean, the reality is like, my dream in my youth and all that, I wanted to own a mansion, and I wanted to have great wealth, and I wanted to have all these toys and stuff like that.
Yes, you bit the carrot, right?
Yeah. Just like everybody else, you have this dream of being rich and successful, and you want everything. You want the world. And as I've gotten older, I've had the world. Okay, I've had it, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. I've had good money. I've had good things. I've had nice places and stuff like that. And now I live in a manufactured home out here in the desert, and it's not that big, you know. I mean, it's about 1,600 square feet, and I share it with my stepson, and I love it. I got a desert yard, you know. I'm not doing a whole bunch of fancy smancy stuff and all that. I'm happy with this. I don't need more. I don't need 1,000 acres and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I don't need it. What am I going to do with it? Admire the beauty of it and, you know, the selfishness of it. I don't need it, you know.
It
And
doesn't it, Paul, doesn't it come down to that premise? It's like, you know, you can strive and become, you know, a multi-billionaire, right? And it's like, okay, you have all this power or money. I mean, power is, I think, in the eye of the beholder. Okay, um, it's like, but once you have that, what are you going to do with it? I mean, you never be he'll, for instance, Elon Musk, he'll never be able to spend that money, and ever, ever.
you're going
I
to
mean,
do one of
ever.
two
I mean,
you're
really,
going to do one of two things. Okay. Well, you're going to do one of three things. When you have that much wealth and that much money, and
it goes to your head.
okay, there's about three different routes you can go. Okay. One, you can be corrupt and evil, and all you want is to acquire more and more and more, and you're going to do anything and everything you can to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you're going to give it away. You're going to share your wealth. You're going to make sure others do well because you've done well. And I truly don't see anyone out there like that. There isn't anyone out there. And then you have the middle ground. I'll do a few things here, I'll do a few things there, but I still want my wealth. I may not be as corrupt and evil as this next guy over here, but I still want my wealth, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep it, and I'm going to share a little here and there. That's basically what you have. You know, when it comes to these people that are in huge, you know, frames of power and wealth, and you know, let's take Elon Musk. Okay, yeah, he bought Twitter. He's saying that he's trying to create a town square where people can come together. We'll wait and see if that happens. I know with Ukraine, he donated a lot of things with Starlink, and he did some things to be helpful there. He's trying to create things, but let's see what he does. Okay, let's see what he does. Now, there's other billionaires out there that they're not doing anything like that. Okay, there's some that claim to be billionaires that aren't. That's a whole nother story. But the people that do have the money, they're either doing things to obtain more wealth, or they're going to do things to help others along the way, or they're just simply going to be right in between, you know? So we'll see where Elon stands. I know where a lot of other ones stand, and they're quite corrupt. It's also a part of the problem that we have in this country. Everybody wants to obtain the wealth, and they will do anything they can to step on others to get it. Now,
Not everybody.
not everybody, not everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
There's the idealism of the American dream of what it used to be and what it is today are two complete different scenarios. Okay. The American dream used to be I can come to America, I can get a job and provide for my family. Okay. I might be able to send them to college or something like that, but I can make it. Everybody has a fair opportunity. The American dream today is I want to become rich. I want to become wealthy. I want to have my own business. I want to control people. That's the American dream today. There's a different mindset with it now. And I want to get people back to the most important things, keeping a roof over your head, food on your table, and providing for your children, you know? And right now, everybody wants to be on a team. We got to change that.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, John, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I look at things a little bit differently. I don't know how a lot of stuff is going to change. is how I see it.
Yeah.
And we really don't know how it's going to change.
Right.
And I'm more or less wanting to be open to the things and how these these new things come to us. That's where I'm at. I mean, where if I keep on looking at like if I keep on looking at what is there, and I'm keep on trying to change what is there, I'm more on the path of trying to figure out what we can and build and on the new thing that we can build, because the in my thought, the current things that are here that are bothering us right now, they're going to be gone. I mean, they're not going to be what we're going to be focused on or what we're trying to change. And when you give energy to that stuff, it still creates it being there.
Yes.
So I'm looking at trying to find ways to focus on, put our energy on the things that we want and start moving in that direction. I guess it's more where I go into a place when I'm in a show like this, or I listen to a show like this, and they keep on trying to recognize like this government and what they're doing and how they're doing it. We can't let them do this. Well, you're still giving them that attention, energy, attention, or however. It's just once we actually figure out like, hey, we don't give them that attention, that energy, and we focus on the things that we want. Now that all that stuff that's over here and causing all these issues, they go away because we're all over here just focusing on the things that we want and what is right and what we want to build, and how do we spread our love more? What is the new love? Like, just all those things are unaware, and that's where we gotta start driving towards and not worry about all this other stuff that negative
John,
news.
This is where like I'm 100% on board with you. I mean, I go into many different spaces and I'll listen and so on and so forth, and there are so many that will sit there and kind of gripe, and they create this echo chamber of what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with our businesses, why is it this? And it's like when you bring in like Elon Musk, now recognize he's working on a platform, he's working on a dichotomy, okay, like this, of how the old system was working. And I'm 100% right on board with you, John, because guess what? There's a whole, the possibilities are endless on how we can create that. And it's kind of like all these little shiny objects out there. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna create something and let people start griping and focusing so their energy is distracted and fractured, okay, with all these different little points. Okay, I don't care if it's in government, I don't care if it's in business, I don't care if it's in a church. And I think when we can stay focused, like you were speaking about, focused on that end result, what we're trying to do. I'm not saying tunnel vision, okay, but just because people had done it in the past one way and it worked, it no longer is going to be serving those that are now stepping up to the plate. It just isn't. It's in a complete brand new paradigm. Like I was watching, John, and this is where it's hilarious, right? Because everybody was talking about, get a niche, find your niche and zero in and do this. And okay, all right, guys, people out there, if you're in a niche and you love it, go with it. But there are those who are very diversified and can take one niche and bring it out, because that's like, to me, it's like a pigeonhole, right? It's like you get zeroed in. You can be very, very precise with your content. Of course, I'm not saying it, but guess what? That the vibrational energy is not necessarily vibing with a lot of people, and they find themselves like, but wait, I have this information and I can write a book here, or I can do this, and I have this content. So if I'm talking about mechanisms of healing the emotional heart, Does that mean it's just one way and I'm only going to work with, I'm just going to only work with married couples in crisis as opposed to teenagers, right? So I think what you're looking at, instead of having something so divisive as this niche, it's so much more, it's broader. And when we can start looking at this larger scope, because what's worked and gotten the millionaires, the money is that chunk, 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 chunk keeps going on, other people's money, yada, yada, yada. You know, there are so many different possibilities, and this is what we're trying to let people know about. Just because it's worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to continue, nor do we have to swallow that pill, eat that carrot, and be dangled on a string of always in attainment of.
Yeah. One of the things that I think is going to help us get to those points is when people stop looking at the Elon Musk,
Yep.
stop looking at these people that are like, you think they're going to save you. They're not saving anybody. They're just as much of the issue that we've had for these years. It's when you actually take the time to start looking into yourself,
Yep.
and then yourself you'll start figuring it out, like, this is what I need. And then once you start figuring out those things that you need, you start gravitating, and the other people start gravitating to you as well. And that's where you start building. And we're creators. We create things, we build things. And once you start getting out of the rut of this economy that we live in, you're gonna start figuring out, like, all this, the wealth is already here. There's plenty for everybody. There's plenty of everything.
Yes.
And this whole thing that there's going to be less water. I mean, there's so much water here that you can supply everybody, and fresh water. It's just people don't understand it. They just keep getting this misinformation from these news outlets or YouTube one-off videos and anything else. As soon as you learn how to shut that off and start going in, you'll start understanding what you really need.
Oh yeah, and again, it's like those shiny little objects.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like get so busy looking over here, so you lose that focus on where it should be, because this is how we've done it, and we're going to train you in how it's being done.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that old energy. And the way I see it, I don't care politics, the whole 9 yards, and this is my own personal thing. This is what I see and how I see it, and it's very comical, because I see it as that old miserable grandpa that's sitting there. He's in pain, he's retired, and he's miserable, and he's got to make everybody else's life miserable. And so it's like, and it's like there's so much bitching about it instead of the solutions. And this is where, I believe that, both John and you, Paul, we can come together, and we are offering solutions. We're offering a different mechanism. And it's like, I choose not to play into in feeding energy to those solutions that just no longer really serve us. It's like, okay, you can go in and understand, okay, this is a challenge. This is an issue at hand. We can address that. But you give it that 30 seconds, and then the rest of the entire hour is nothing but solutions. That's a show. That's what we're talking about. I mean, I cannot stand going into, different spaces, and everybody's got to have this echo chamber, and this is what I believe in. Oh yeah, and then we just continue to feed it, and it's like, aren't you guys tired of this old energy, the grandpa energy, the old paradigm?
They're not. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, I've been talking about how we're on that cusp of change.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it for a long time. Whether it's good change or bad change is yet to be seen. Okay. But we are on that cusp of change. And where I'm going to push back is that The system that's out there that you said, it doesn't work anymore. It never did work.
No, it didn't.
Okay. It never did work, because if it worked, everybody would benefit from it.
Yes.
Everybody would benefit.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't benefit. A select few benefit here, a select few benefit there. And for them, the system works perfectly because they're the ones that are making money or obtaining wealth or obtaining whatever it is that they desire, and it works for them. Okay.
Yeah.
But other people doesn't work for, because you got people out there that one job can't support yourself. You got to work two.
Yeah.
So there's no cost of living wage. There's no benefits to it. You have to pay for your health care. So there's not a universal health care that's out there just to help people, preventative things. And again, I could go very, very political on this. But the bottom line is, whether it's the politics of it or it's just that single mother trying to make it through the day, or that retired old bitchy man that, can barely survive on his Social Security and he wants to take it out on everybody else. And yet nobody's doing anything to change what's out there.
Exactly.
They're just trying to survive the day. Okay. And when people finally get to that point to where they can say, I've had enough. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not going to continue to fight this losing battle that can't be won, because as you've stated, when you fight, it's a continuation. It's never ending. So we have to end the fight and bring the solutions and implement those solutions that are going to work for everybody. Everybody. And I think do that.
But Paul, and here's one of the issues, okay? And it's kind of like what John was alluding to, okay?
Right.
It's the idea of the perceptions that we hold about this, because each political party, and I'm not going to get political, but just hear me out for one moment, because you brought in the word fight, and I just like to bring some clarification here, because as these new individuals are coming up, maybe somewhere, maybe someone will listen to this show and bring this forward to them. Because when someone comes and knocks on my door, I get a telephone call, hey, I'm running for this office, and vote for me and I'll fight for you. I'm sorry, but no, please don't fight for me. I can fight my own battles, number one. Number two, so much energy is exchanged in an argument, in a fight, that nothing gets done, because you're constantly vying at two opposing sides. So when we're looking at messaging, when we're looking at stepping forward into wellness, into healing, whatever those branches you'd like to come forward with, please, I don't care what party you're in, forgo the fight. Fight really is nothing more than a continuation. Think about having an argument, a fight with a spouse, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a child, your boss. Okay, maybe a few things might get aired out, but does a fight, right? Listen to this. Does a fight, if you were in a boardroom and you're fighting, I'm electing you to go fight for me, what's going to get solved? Does it create cohesion? Does a fight? Does it create cooperation? Does it create an environment of trust?
Nope.
Of honor? Does it create an environment of integrity? And this I'm getting very serious about, because if either party, any party, I don't care if it's in the United States, I don't care if it's Republican, Independent, Democrat, I don't care, name it, chicken soup, I really don't care. Drop the fight. Fight for freedom. Why? Should not freedom be a right? Okay. It's like, until we change and shift that paradigm and get people to recognize that a fight is useless, wasted energy that solves nothing. Nothing. It is a continuation, because there's distrust. If I'm fighting with John over something, We're having a disagreement. Okay, well, you have this view, I have that view. If you're stuck in your stance on what you're bringing forward, do you really think you're going to sit back and say, okay, yeah, John, you got a great, yep, I just absolutely love that idea, but you know what, mine's better, so the hell with you, and this is how we're going to go. There's no cooperation, there's no cohesion.
Correct.
And so release the word. It's a simple word in the entire dictionary. Can people tell me that there is no other creative word than fight or war room? Seriously? Who was the most intelligent person that came up with that? The military? And yet we come forward with war rooms? Oh, yeah, I'm on my soapbox. I got some energy here. All right, I'm sorry, guys, but this is where, until people can start seeing that larger picture, because that's the old shit. That's the old energy. I mean, come on. Can we like, people are talking about waking up. People are talking, it's comes to the point. I'm not saying you cannot stand for something. You cannot join a cause. But if we're I'm not electing, I'm not voting for anybody to fight for me. I never will. I never have. I will never give it that energy, because I'm looking for somebody that's going to be of service. Being of service, working for something, coming together as a community and listening, hearing each other speak, cohesion. Here's one. I'm running for Congress. Please elect me, and I will be a part of the stability for cohesion in your neighborhood. Oh my God. And this is what, when you look at it, John, we're coming together, right, in all these different compartments, whether it be in government, whether it be in bringing information at home for wellness in any capacity. Nobody says you can't stand and support your family members, but to stand and fight for them? Oh, come on. Isn't that old, useless? I mean, I remember that message back in the freaking 70s. I'm sorry, that was my soapbox. I had to do it. I had to do it. Sorry, guys, but
I knew it would bring out the fight.
Yeah, I knew you were going to trigger me. I knew it. I'm like, no, Paul, don't do this. Don't. And you did it before on a couple other shows, and I shut my mouth. I bit my tongue, but you know what? I got John standing here, sitting here. And
I made sure I said fight twice. I made sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, here you go. Now you got the good part of the fight. Okay. No, I'm serious. Sorry.
Well, it's good. It's good that you say that and you bring it up to where you're, the fight aspect. Well, I mean, the ideas need to start flowing. And I think that's where we need to get to. We need to get to the ideas and putting things forward. But then also you got to look at it as a game. You got to look at it as a game as well, because we're, like I said before, we're getting ready to go through this new energy, and it's like a new ball as a kid, and we're going to be able to touch these new things and play with them and figure them out. So as we figure those things out, those connectivities that we have are going to start coming together, and we're going to be able to form what we really want, and that's going to take a lot.
Exactly. And you know what, John? It's got the energy of a fight is not going to be anywhere in the mix.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and this is what we're talking about. This is what we're trying to bring to the table. And Paul's been trying to get me to do. He goes, "You're going to go on the soapbox. I know you are." I'll just mention it. Fight.
But hey, guys, I really want to say thank you so much, and I need to step out, and but it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to doing another one if I can soon, so we can. I'm not driving next time.
Definitely.
That sounds great. And John,
so awesome, guys! Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on, and it's just perfect timing for people coming together.
Yep, I agree 100%.
Yeah. All right. Between you and Shadow Fox and schedule the next one with John, okay?
All right. Sounds great. All right. Bye bye.
All right. Thanks, John. And for anyone out there, I mean, can you put his website up again real quick, just in case anybody, anybody else? But you had to do that to me, didn't you? Didn't you?
Definitely. And the thing of it is there's a reason why I bring it up, and there's a reason why I hopefully triggered you and did, is because in my almost 54 years on this earth, all the time that I've been watching, and observing and listening and learning and watching and listening and learning and observing, I see that fighting gets you nowhere.
Nowhere.
And as time has gone on, and I bring this up because I've looked at the battle, the war, the indecency of the left versus the right. Okay.
Yeah. Us against them.
Yep. Us against them.
Right.
And it continues to grow. And it's grown to a point now where the left and the right can't even throw a problem out there and agree upon a problem because they've become so divided. And I want people to understand that the longer the fight carries on, the greater the divide. Okay.
It is.
If you want to go, with something that we're taught in grade school, and I know people are going to be going, not anymore. United we stand, divided we fall.
Exactly.
I want you to think about that. If there was one truth that you want to look at, united we stand, divided we fall. And when we fight, we become more divided. And the more divided we get, eventually, we're going to fall.
Yeah.
We're going to fall. And whether you're looking at it in a governmental aspect, a patriotism aspect, a business aspect, a family aspect, whatever aspect you want to look at it, when you're divided, it's going to fall apart. It's going to break apart. It's going to come to an end at some point to where, the fight is no longer a fight because you're no longer facing each other because you've divided.
And again, I have made that mention, but think about when we are divided, how do we recoup that? How do we step into cohesion?
Well,
how? Stop fighting. How can you find common ground when there are so many, different, I believe this or I believe that. Well,
you got to have that conversation, and you got to be mature enough to learn how to agree to disagree.
You also have to recognize that there's quite a possibility that you could be wrong.
Exactly. And that's another problem, especially with men. Okay. Men never like to admit that they're wrong. They have this ego.
Oh, come on. Women don't either.
Well, I'm just saying it occurs more with men. Men have this ego complex because they've been brought up that you can't cry, you can't show weakness, you have to be the breadwinner, you have to be the powerhouse, you have to be this, you have to be that. Okay. So men have taken on this stereotypical role of being the man. And quite frankly, and all that, if they can learn how to cry, they can learn how to be a little sensitive, they can learn how to be more understanding to other people's feelings and concerns, instead of being this, this mask that they've, been told that they must wear. Take the fucking mask off. Okay.
Exactly.
You need it. Take the mask off. Be who you are. Okay. Not who people have told you need to be. Okay. And that's where I'm at with it. Quit being what people have told you must be. Be who you actually are. Talk about how you feel. Talk about how you think, and allow yourself to learn and educate yourself.
When we become so focused in a position, and when we have to sit there and defend a position so vehemently, you may choose to consider your position.
Yes.
You know, and it doesn't mean that it's wrong or incorrect, but what is the energy around it? What makes it so steadfast that there's no leniency? You mean, oh my goodness, you might like be seen in a coffee shop with the opponent? I mean, like, come on, really? I mean, here, come on, I got a cup of coffee. Wait a minute. There you go. There you go. See? Ah! You know, I mean, sometimes we just have to sit back and have a little bit of laughter with it. And by the way, for those who are listening or gonna follow up on the replay or whatever, there's been Paul and I have had many discussions in different ways. And sometimes we've had opposing views. Like, okay, well, this is how he sees it, this is how I see it. But he loves to like throw these little trigger words because he knows this is part of what I'm to bring forward in the messaging, and he likes to see me get passionate about it because instead of me just saying, okay, yep, this is the way it is, and he goes, no. Yeah, he does it every once in a while, and I actually survived a couple of those during the last couple episodes. Just yep, I hold my time. So yeah, Paul likes to do this to me every once in a while, and he knew because I wasn't feeling well that he'd be able to get away with it.
Yep. And it worked. Yep.
Well, no, it has to come out, and
Yes,
it
it
really
does.
does. It really
Well,
does.
that's the thing. We have to have conversations. Okay. We have to get over this. I don't like you because you believe this, or I don't like you because you believe that. Okay.
Uh,
You can continue to not like them. Okay. There's a lot of people I don't like, but I'll still have a conversation with them. Only because until you can have that conversation and see things from a different point of view, there's no way that you're going to be able to either define what you've stated
yeah,
or redefine what they've stated. Okay. When I wrote my book, I went into it with a mindset, a belief system.
yeah,
And in writing it, I found information that I didn't have before. And I changed my views on things.
yeah.
Okay. But I could have wrote it any way I wanted. I could have wrote it according to what I believe, but then that would be a lie, because when I have the truth sitting right there and I choose to go against the truth, then I'm lying, not only to others, but to myself.
Exactly.
Because here's the truth. So if you embrace the truth of things instead of the belief of things, you're going to get much further in your progression of becoming the better human that you want to become.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, trying to be the best version of yourself that you can be.
Well, the thing is that we have to be willing to listen. It doesn't mean you have a different views or anything that you have to adopt or change or anything else, but everybody has a valid opinion, whether valid to them. That
Right.
um, and it's this is where when we're looking at wellness, when we're looking at healing, when we're looking at releasing the discord in our lives, the discord is the opposing views. So where is harmony? Where is balance? How do we step into the flow? Um, Again, having conversations like this, and I recognize the show is a little bit different, um, but in the overall scope, this is what we're all trying to bring together. How do we step into the flow? What's different? What can be offered? How can I step into healing? And by the way, I think what I was looking at doing is starting in January. We'll probably really start delving in a little bit more into some of the healing things. And also, what did you have up on? Was it past life or no? Death and dying or something? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
afterlife experiences,
Oh, okay, yeah, okay,
death experiences.
okay, yeah. So I think we're going to keep it just with the flow on how things come forward again. Um, if you guys, people out there have some real specific questions on how to use energy or different thought patterns to get through for healing in their own lives, bring them forward. We'll see if there could be a somebody that's a highly qualified expert we can bring on for
Yes.
instance.
DM me, DM Shadow Fox. If you have questions, things you'd like to talk about on the show, stuff like that, DM either one of us.
Yeah, give it. If there's something you'd like to learn more about, please, or maybe you can offer information and you can teach us.
Right. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show,
Yeah.
contact Shadow Fox or myself and let us know. And we would be more than happy to bring you on, talk about different topics, stuff like that. And remember, it's the flow. It's the
Yeah.
flow. Just go with the flow.
It is. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, balance and harmony, and I think I'm gonna get ready to have a little of a rest here.
Yeah. Today it's the COVID flow.
Yeah, yeah, flowing right along, right out my door.
Yeah.
No
All
more,
right.
no more.
All right, everybody. Remember, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Have a
And
good day, everybody.
be well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.